So we're going to take a deep breath. Filling the lungs, expanding the lungs with air. Exhaling all the stale, stagnant energy out of your body. So as we inhale, we're intentionally going to fill the tops, middle, and bottom of the lungs as much as you can go. Stretch that rib cage. Take in that air and release all the air out of your body. We're intentionally releasing all the stale, stagnant energy out of our body. Not just out of your lungs, you take it from your whole body and breathe it out. I want to hear those breaths. So now we're going to take the arm, grab the wrist, and we're going to slowly stretch the side. Now you're probably going to want to go forward when you stretch the side, but I want your intention to be chest out, elbow up, armpit towards the ceiling. Don't hurt yourself, just go as much as you can go to where it stops and then breathe. So once you go as much as it can go till it stops, you use the breath to take the stretch even farther. You're going to use the breath to stretch the muscles. So as I'm inhaling, I'm feeling the stretch even more through my arm, through my armpit, through my rib. And again, my body's going to want to go forward because form follows function. If we're hunched over our phones, hunched over the computer, our body is going to grow this way. The muscles are going to shorten and these muscles are going to stretch. So we want to intentionally align that body. Use the breath to stretch the muscle. Use the exhale to release the tension from the muscle. Really take it and breathe it out. Now we're going to do the other side. Grab the other wrist and chest out, pelvis in. We don't want our back arched. We want a straight spine. And gently move to the side, exhaling. Just as far as you can go comfortably to where it you start to feel the pull. Once you start to feel the pull, use the breath. Inhale, stretching the rib cage. Inhale through the armpit, through the arm. Exhale, release. And if you kind of get stuck, you can wiggle the fingers, kind of wiggle your arm because the blood flow might cease to flow if you're pinched off. So we wiggle a little bit and we breathe. And let that exhale take your stretch a little bit further. Okay, so this is a good one for the chest, the whole front of the body. So we're going to take the arms to the side, fingers pointing at the opposite walls. Now we're going to bend the wrist into a right angle. Do you see how my wrist is bent into a right angle? But my hands are pointing behind me. Already I can feel a stretch. So now I want to align my body because when I'm stretching this way, my body wants to kink up like this. So our intention is to iron out that body. So we want to feel like somebody's pulling a string through the top of the spine, straightening out the spine, shoulders rolling down and back, shoulder blades tucked into the back pockets, and right angles with the wrists. Point those fingers towards the wall behind you. Try to get your flat palm up against those walls to the side of you and stretch the fingers. Do you see how my fingers are stretched? So my fingers are wanting to go like this, so I am intentionally stretching them as much as they can go with breath. So once they stretch out and it starts to hurt, I use that breath to stretch it even farther and let go. And then you'll realize that it doesn't hurt quite so bad anymore where you were just at. And so we want to keep doing that. So once it doesn't hurt quite so bad, we want to stretch it a little bit more. Make sure those shoulders are down and back, that spine is straight, arms are straight at a right angle, wrist is at a right angle, and breathe. Breathe into it, filling the top, middle, and bottom of the lungs. Exhale, release it away. Feel those shoulders drop as you exhale. Okay, slowly relax the arms. Give them a little wiggle. Now we're gonna lay down on the ground and we're gonna wake up the feet. Lay down on a flat surface and hug that knee a little bit. And, oh, my sock's all messed up. And we're gonna stretch the leg. Oh my gosh. Even that is just like release. So once I get into position, your body, once you like get into a stretch, your body's gonna wanna like freak out and squeeze and tighten up. You want to use the breath and your intention to release that tightness, because that's what's gonna be efficient in the stretch. So once you do this, your body's gonna be like, oh, and you're gonna be holding your breath. Stop it. It's really hard. You have to tell yourself to not do that because it's automatic. So you tell your body to relax. Use the breath. If you can't go straight, that's fine. You can bend your leg. That's fine too. Go as straight as you can. If you can't get up here, that's fine. You're going to get up here, that's fine too. Or you can put it at the back of your knee for support. But you just kind of want to stretch the leg as much as you can go without causing an arch in your back. Make sure that spine is flat, that pelvis is tucked under, and point the toe to the ceiling. And as you point, you're going to feel your muscles freak out from the foot all the way up here, all the way probably into your hip. That's okay. We want to release it. So take a deep breath. Really intentionally send that tension into the floor. Inhale into the stretch, pointing the toe. Now we're going to point the toe towards the nose, and we're going to feel a whole new set of muscles freak out. That's going to be these muscles right here. All this, and not just the muscles, it's the fascia, the stuff, the glue that holds your muscles and cells together. That also gets tight. It's like the consistency of a plastic grocery bag. So it does stretch. It'll tear if you do it too hard, too fast. If you warm it up and slowly stretch it, it will stretch. And that's what we want to do. We want to warm it up and slowly stretch it. So if you can't really point your toe toward your nose, it hurts too bad, and you can't really tell your body to let go yet, then we're just going to do small circles, very small circles. If you can see my foot at the top of the screen. And so as we're circling, we're not doing it fast. We're not going, woo, hurry up and get this over with. That is not efficient stretching. We want to go slow. We want to go intentional. We want to use our breath. So when you feel, okay, so like right here, I get caught. I start to feel like a really painful sensation in my ankle and even up through my IT band right here. So we breathe through it. Use that breath to stretch the muscle even more. Don't use the physical movement of your leg to stretch to their max. Don't use that. Use your breath to stretch to your max. So you stop right here and you breathe. Inhale into the stretch. Make the stretch even more intense, and exhale, release the tension. So we're not releasing the stretch, we're releasing the tension in the muscle. And to release the tension, we feel that pent up squeeze. We breathe into it and make it squeeze even more. And then as we exhale, we use our mind to take the tension and drain it into the floor. Now we're going to move to another spot. Oh, here's another spot. Now here, if I'm, so you can see me, if I'm pointing my foot this way, it's kind of like out towards my shoulder. I feel it in the bottom of my foot. Y'all with plantar fasciitis, this is a good one for you to do these circles with your ankle. So if I point it this way, I feel this tendon right here pull, and my toe kind of does a little twitchy thing and it's not very fun. So I know that's a part that needs to be released. And not only are we storing toxins in those muscles, guys, we're storing emotional distress in those muscles and joints. So you might feel a little emotional when we do these releases. You might cry, you might feel joy, whatever you feel, it's completely normal. You're releasing the tension, you're releasing the energy from that pent up muscle. Now I'm still kind of holding it. As I'm talking, I'm breathing. I don't want you guys to be talking. I want you guys to be breathing. And so now I'm feeling it all through here. And you can even, if you can't get up like this, you can even take a yoga strap or a belt and use that, wrap it around your foot and pull it. And you can use that as your tension instead of holding the leg. That's an easier way if you're not so flexible. So I'm really feeling this in my tendon still. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of wiggling it side to side. Now I'm feeling the tension move from the foot into the knee. So it's draining, it's coming. So I want to really breathe Exhale. So now I'm feeling it move into my hip. So it's draining. We're making progress. So now I want to do a little kind of hip movement. And I'm going to bend the knee and I'm going to take it to the side. Oh, and now I feel that hip stretch right here. And I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm going to have to do a little better positioning for the phone here. But I'm taking the knee and I'm just twisting it. My shoulders are still, you see my opposite shoulder is still laying flat on the floor. And breathe into it, stretching that hip muscle. Exhale, release. Okay, now I'm going to put the ankle back up and I'm going to see if there's any more tight spots. Then I'm going to go the other way. As you go the other way, you might feel another tight spot. Inhale into it. Exhale, release. Alexa, play solfeggio frequencies.
Here's some music by solfeggio frequencies.
Now I'm going to let it go. We're going to do the other leg. Gently take the knee to the chest. Kind of feel your body release. Give yourself time. Wiggle side to side. Not wiggle, but sway side to side if you need. Leg up. This one's a little more tight. Ooh. Breathe. Oh, let noise out if you need. Oh, breathe it out. Stay there, sway a little bit, let the muscle release, let the tension release. Use your straps, your belt if you need to. Pull. So now that my leg is kind of used to being up here, it's hard when it's first thing in the morning, guys. Oh gosh. So we're gonna roll the ankle and I feel it in this leg. So as I hit here, I feel the tension on the outside of my ankle, outside of my knee, outside of my calf. I'm going to take the breath, stretch the muscle as far as I can stretch it with the breath, and exhale, release the tension into the ground. Now when that releases, I'm going to move it another inch. I feel another pull. This time I feel it through the back of my leg, down to the middle of the thigh. Deep breath. Exhale, release. Ooh. If you get a little shaky, that's okay. Breathe it out, release a little bit, do a little sway, a little wiggle. Get that blood flowing and get back to it. Oh, now I feel it on the bottom of my foot, in that tendon from the big toe to the heel. Oh my gosh, breathe. Again, I feel the tension now draining from my ankle to my knee. I still have tension in my foot, so I'm just kind of moving it around where I feel a tight spot. Breathe into it. It's going to hurt really bad, but when you exhale, it hurts less. Again, breathe into it. Oh, stretch a little more. Exhale, release. We're going to bend the knee as we feel it move into the hip. Take it to the floor. Make sure that opposite shoulder is still flat on the floor. You can adjust your spine if you need to. Pull that string through the top of your head. A string through the top of your head, a string through your tailbone. Somebody's pulling it taut like a rotisserie. And this shoulder won't really lay flat on the ground like the other one did, so I'm just doing the best I can to relax my body into the stretch. So I'm not pushing in the stretch, I'm relaxing into the stretch. Use my breath to stretch the hip, to stretch the chest. My arm is flat out against the other side, just like this one was this way. This one is this way. Deep inhale, stretching the muscle. Exhale, intentional release the tension into the floor. And back to the middle. And we're going to hug the knees. Now we're going to do baby pose. I'm going to grab the feet. Ease into it. Release the muscles. Release the joints and the hips. Release the shoulders. pull that string taut through the top of the head and just relax into it. Again, your body is going to seize up and be tight. If it's something you're not used to doing, that's okay. Breathe into it. So just, we're not doing any stretching, we're not doing any forcing, we're not doing any pulling. We're just breathing. Use the breath to relax the body into the floor. Feel the muscles let go. I'm feeling the release in my hips, in my inner thighs, my hamstrings, even in my feet. Deep inhale into the stretch, exhale, feel the shoulders sink into the floor. Don't force it. Let your breath do the work. Breathe. Exhale into the floor. Now we can kind of move side to side, massaging the back. And let the knees drop. I'm sorry about my dog. I have a neighbor that has a little dog that likes to stop in my front yard and piss in the front yard and annoy my dogs. Trying to manifest her away. I've spoken to her nicely twice about it, and her answer was, well, my dog just likes your yard. So we're stretching her away. We're stretching the tension away. And hopefully when I increase my vibration and frequency, she will fall away. The universe will take her away. Do you see that? Did you hear? Confirmation. Okay, so now we're going to stretch that psoas muscle. You can use a pillow, you can use a yoga block, you can use a rolled up towel or robe. Place it under here and it lets you let go. You don't want to seize up. So you want to be as comfortable as you can. Use your tools, guys. Use something to support yourself so that you can let go, because the trick is letting go of the muscle. If you don't let go of the muscle, you're not going to get the most effective stretch. You're not going to get the release. You're not going to get the release of the tension. You're not going to get the release of the stress. You're not going to get the emotional release. As women, we store a lot of emotions in our hips. So we're going to sway side to side and get that comfortable. You can move your foot however you want. If you bend your foot and kind of flex it like this, it will release the tension off the knee. So just kind of sway. So if you can, bring your foot up. If you can. If you can't, that's fine. Don't do it. If you can, this is going to stretch the psoas muscle, and it's going to stretch the hip flexor, and it's going to stretch the quads. So you're going to grab the foot. I like to grab my foot from the inside because naturally my foot wants to pull medially, which is in towards the body, towards the midline of the body. So because it wants to pull that way naturally, excuse me, because it wants to pull that way naturally, that means my muscles are tight on the inside. So I want to, and I'm not forcing, I'm just using the breath to release the muscle because I'm seizing up right here. I'm like, my muscles are going, ah! Take a breath, release. No pulling, just relaxing, releasing, letting go. And I can feel my muscles kind of let go centimeter by centimeter as I sit here and breathe. I'm using the breath to stretch the muscle. I'm using the exhale to release the tension. So now I'm ready to pull the leg a little bit forward. I haven't done yoga in a long time, guys. I used to do it every day, and it's been 4 months since I've done it regularly. So I'm tight. And so you don't want to hold your breath. You will find yourself holding your breath and tightening your muscles. And that is the exact opposite of what we want to do. So you want to take your mind over matter. Take your mind and say, you are the boss of your body. You are the boss of your mind. You are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You control these things. So program yourself to control them, because we're not programmed. We're not taught this, and we need to be. Okay, so now I'm feeling the release in my hip. Do you see how I'm sitting here for a while? I'm not just wham, bam, thank you, mamming it and going on to the next stretch. We really want to release. So as I feel the muscle release a little bit more, I'm going to pull just a little bit more. Okay, so now I felt a catch on my knee. Do you see my foot? Flex the foot, and then the knee will release. And now I feel a little bit tighter pull in my hip and the front leg. Take a breath to stretch the muscle. Exhale to release it. We're releasing it out through the breath, and we're releasing it into the ground. Now my shoulder blades are down into my back pockets. Chest is out. Chin is up. I feel my body kinking to the side, and so I want to go as straight as possible. Ooh, and now I did that, I feel a stretch in another part of the muscle. So I'm going to breathe it out. If you feel a pull, don't go out of it. Just stop there and breathe. Maybe adjust the angle of your foot to get a different section of muscle. Breathe, inhale, and exhale, release. Now we're going to release slowly, kind of move side to side a little bit, slowly let go, slowly move the body to the other side, and we're going to do the other hip. Very slow, very slow intentional movements. Excuse my voice, you guys, I just woke up. Apparently my body's not ready. Okay, so this side's a little bit tougher. I may need something. So I'm just gonna use my robe. You guys can grab a pillow, yoga block, anything that's going to support you so you can relax, because you want to relax into this position. You don't want to seize up and hold your breath and hold your muscles. So my knee is locking, so I'm taking my foot and I'm pointing my toe towards my knee to release that knee. Now I feel the pull in my hip, so I'm going to wiggle side to side to release that hip as I'm breathing. Gentle movements. Use your arms for support. Take a deep breath into the stretch. Intentionally relax your muscles. Deep breath into the stretch. Intentionally relax the muscles. And as I'm exhaling, I feel the weight of my body getting heavier on the pillow, and that's what we want to feel. We want to feel our body sinking into the floor, sinking into the support that we have. Exhaling. Okay, it's time to grab that foot. So, if you need to, use your straps, yoga belt, or just a regular belt that you have. Anything, a towel will work. Anything that you can wrap around your foot and then grab, or you can just grab it with one arm. Use the other arm for support, that would be best. If you can't reach your foot, you gotta get a tool. So right now, I'm having my hand on the inside of my leg, not pushing, just using the resistance. Deep inhale, exhale, release the hip. Deep inhale, exhale, release the quads, the front of the thigh. Now, as I'm telling myself this, my body's doing it. So you may need to tell yourself to do these things. Deep inhale, exhale, release. I feel that tension releasing, so I'm going to grab my foot a little bit more, pull it a little bit more taut, just enough to feel the tension. Once I feel that tension increase, I'm going to breathe it out. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the tension. We're not moving, we're just staying here using breath. Deep inhale, using breath to stretch the leg, stretch the hip muscle. Using the exhale to release it. Make sure you're breathing deep. Make sure you're exhaling completely. Make sure I can hear those breaths. So once we feel this muscle release, I'm kind of doing a little sway because sometimes the muscles lock, and even if you breathe or relax, it'll still just get stuck. If you put a little movement in it, side to side, not big, just small, it kind of unlocks that muscle a little bit, the rhythm. Make sure it's in an equal rhythm. And it released. Now I feel another lock, so I'm taking a deep breath. Exhale, release. I'll slowly come out of it. Very slowly, very intentionally. Okay, so now we're just gonna do a basic touching your toes. As you sit down, you're gonna spread those cheeks. Make sure the sit bones are locked into the ground. You become one with the floor. Take the legs straight out, point those toes. If you cannot take the legs straight out, my teenager, she had a lot of trouble. She could only do this. With sitting her body straight, she literally could not put her legs down, and that's okay. That just means that you need to do some more releases, do some more stretching for that. So if you can't do it like this, then just do it as much as you can. If you need to use a wall behind you to sit up straight, you can do that. Definitely use your yoga straps. I'll bring them with me the next class. Use your yoga straps so that you can pull. You don't want to pull, you don't want to force. You just want to pull as much to where you feel the muscle go, ah, and then stop. Once you feel the muscle scream at you, stop where you are and breathe. Let that tension out through the breath. And then you can feel the legs let go a little bit. And once you feel the muscle release a little bit. Another one. Chest out, spine through the top of the head, hinge at the hips. In your mind, you're folding at the hips. I know it's not looking like that, but that's okay, because consistency is important. I haven't done this in a while. Roll side to side. Use your breaths to release. And as you roll to the side, when I roll to this side, I feel the stretch through my side body into my side leg. Take a deep breath. Release with the exhale. Again. Deep breath. Release with the exhale. Other side. Deep breath. Release with the exhale. Inhale, top, middle, and bottom of the lungs, stretching through the side of the body. Exhale, release. Sway side to side a little bit if it hurts too much. And release. All right, so that's all we're going to do today. I know we only did, 3 stretches, but the technique I use, stretching with breath work, stretching with meditation, stretching with intention, I call it meditative stretching. It really works. It works to reduce pain, relieve tension and stress, relieve pent up, stored up emotional trauma in the joints, in the myofascia. which is the muscle and the glue that holds the muscle tissues, the skin tissues, everything together. We hold stress, we hold emotional trauma in there. So this is like therapy, guys, like not just for your body, for better range of motion, better movement, easier movement with less effort, but also release anxiety, release all the thoughts in your head, all the past traumas that you've experienced that are just on replay in that head. They're stored up in the body, and the body is feeling that vibration. The mind is translating it. You're revisiting that loop. You want to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Use your breath, use your stretch. Take it from your mind and breathe it out. It helps. Join me on therapeuticessence.org. I have these meditative stretch classes Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Central. We do it through Zoom. I didn't get Zoom on this one. Like I said, I was having trouble with the internet, but we do it through Zoom so that we can talk to each other and you can ask me questions and I can answer you. So go on therapeuticessence.org and you can find the link for stretches, follow the links for click a session, meditative stretching class. You can either do unlimited for the whole month, stretch with me morning and night every day for $33 a month, or you can just do one class at $11. I'm doing it free on Therapeutic Essence Facebook group every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. I will see you guys next weekend. Join me on Monday if you'd like, and I will talk to you guys later. Make sure you're doing that breath work.